What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Explained. Today we're going to be breaking down the difference between torque and horsepower. If you are new here or you haven't yet, tickle that subscribe button, turn on notifications, that way you don't miss any updates on the build series or the next episode of Explained. Let's get into it. So up first, we're going to have a little chat about torque and what difference it makes to your car, truck, motorcycle, fish, and donkey. Alright, well maybe not the last two, but you get what we're saying. So, to explain torque, I must first explain energy and work. So energy is the capacity for doing work, and work is the force acting over a distance. Alright? A little bit of science lesson there, we're going back to physics. So now that we know what energy and we know what work is, we can understand what torque is. So torque is a rotating force which is made from the engine's crankshaft. The more torque a car has, the greater ability it has to do work, or in this case, spin the crankshaft. So to bring torque down to the basics, it is just how much ability the car has to turn its crankshaft. So now that we have an understanding of what torque is, let's get talking about those ponies. When I say ponies, I mean horsepower. So a long time ago, and when I say long, I mean like a pretty long time ago, a man named James Watt created a formula for what exactly is a single horsepower. How exactly he came up with this, I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to know the backstory behind it. But a single horsepower is the power needed to lift 33,000 pounds exactly 1 foot in the air in 1 minute. So, to understand horsepower, we actually have to go back to torque. And if torque is something's capacity to do work, then horsepower is how rapidly work can be done. So, torque and horsepower are related in a way. They need each other, they can't act without the other, but they're different. Alright, so keep that in mind when thinking about torque and horsepower. You have to have them together because they can't act on their own. So, to start bringing this all to engines, let's get talking about what torque exactly is within an engine, or how it's related. So, torque is directly related to the amount of air being run through an engine. This is why you see big engines, like V8s, that are producing a lot of torque. This is because the bigger the engine, the more air capacity it has. And the more air capacity it has, that means the more torque it is capable of producing. And then horsepower is directly related to your RPMs, or rotations per minute. So, this is why you don't produce maximum horsepower at 2,000 RPMs. So now that we've got our understanding of torque and horsepower, how they're related, and what exactly they are within an engine, let's bring it all back to the basics so that you can describe it to your friends. Essentially, torque is what gets your car moving fast, and horsepower is what keeps your car moving fast. And so there's your breakdown on the difference between torque and horsepower on this episode of Explained. If you haven't yet, tickle that subscribe button and catch me in the next video.